Good morning, students. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School. I'm Afrin Sayed, your social studies teacher, and today I'll start with civics, chapter 1, diversity. Dear students, we live in a country where there are diverse religion, diverse culture. Diverse basically means different. There are different types of culture, there are different types of people, there are different types of religion, there are different types of sects which we follow, and all of us live in the same place with lots and lots of unity and lots of respect for each other's culture. We can see around ourselves that if Diwali is being celebrated, then entire country is celebrating Diwali. It's not specifically group of people who are celebrating Diwali, but it is each of us who is celebrating Diwali. If you can see on Holi, you can see in your school, no matter from which religion does a child belong to, no matter um, from which religion, which culture, what kind of culture you follow, but everyone plays Holi, celebrate Holi on on each other's festivals. We used to wish each other on Eid. We wish our Muslim friends as Eid Mubarak. Yes, students, and this is what our culture is. We live together with lots and lots of unity and lots of love and respect for everyone's culture. Students, India is a country where we can hear very different kinds of um, languages. We can see that their dressing style, their clothing is different, their eating habits are different. Like Gujaratis eat a bit sweet kind of things. Like we have khaman and dhoklas, and they are a bit sweeter in the taste. Okay, and if we move towards Maharashtra, then they have the spicy taste. They have a bit spicy, and it's a much spicy for a Gujarati, of course, because we Gujaratis are sweet kind of people with our tongue and with our taste. Like we have very sweet words, we speak sweet, and of course we eat sweet. है ना? So we all have different culture. Now when we move towards Kerala, when we move towards Kerala side, then they have different language, they have different taste in eating. We love eat South Indian food. They have idli, sambar, dosa. So their food is different, their culture is different, their clothing is different from us, the language is different from us. Yet we have lots of love for them. Gujaratis have lots of love for those Keralians. We have lots of love for Maharashtrians. We have lots of love for Hyderabadis. There are different areas, different region with different culture, with different languages, with different clothing style. Yet we all respect each other, and we all live on the same earth. We all live on the same land. Students, we humans have created all those differentiation. God has created just a human. God has created just a human, and we humans have divided each other. And today, even if we are divided with different culture, different languages, different religions, yet we can stay together and be stronger by respecting each other's religion, by respecting each other, by giving lots and lots of love to each other. Students, a life is too short to hate someone or to hate someone's culture. Why should we hate someone's culture? And India is a country where we all live together with peace and unity. Okay, so this was a short introduction regarding the chapter. Now let's move towards, okay, national anthem of India. National anthem of India, students. We have the most beautiful national anthem in the world, Whenever I listen this national anthem, I get goosebumps, which says a lot. There is a lot in the national anthem. Students hear Jana Gana Mana Adhinayak Jaya Hai Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, which means Thou art the ruler of minds of all people, dispensers of India's destiny. Panjaba Sindhu Gujarata Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga. The name rouses the heart of the Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat, and Maratha. Vindhya, Himachal, Yamuna, Ganga, Uchchala Jalada Taranga. Of the Dravida and Odisha and Bengal, it echoes in the hills of Vindhyas and Himalayas. तवा शुभ नम जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाता, which means mingles in the music of Yamuna and Ganga and is chanted by the waves of Indian Sea. जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, which means they pray for thy blessings and sing thy praise. The saving of all people waits in thy hand. Jaya He, Jaya He, Jaya 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 He, which means thou dispenser of India's destiny, victory, victory to thee. Such a beautiful national anthem, which shows the diversity among the people, which shows diversity among states, yet everything says about just one thing, that is unity, blessings from the God, the one who has created us, and which will always and always lead us to victory. Yes, students? Now, let's start with chapter 1, Understanding Diversity. Three children around your age have drawn the figures above. Use the empty box to draw your human figure. Is your drawing similar to any of others? The chances are that your drawing is quite different from other three. Yes, students. Look, you have a box just beside you. In this box, draw anything, whatever you like, any kind of human figure. And students, what does it teach us? Among all your classmates, none of you will get the similar figures. None of you will be drawing the same figure in your textbook. Each of you will be drawing a different figure, a different character. Let's read. How is it? The chances other three which you can see are quite different from each other. This is because each one of us have a unique drawing style. We not only don't look exactly like each other, but also differ in terms of language we speak, our culture backgrounds, our religion rituals. We observe and of course the way we draw. Yes, students. Just like that, we all are unique. We all are created in a unique manner and we have different perspectives. That does not mean that other person is wrong, but that means that other person have a different view than you. What's our duty is to respect them, to respect their culture. Now, ask your teacher to help you check how many of you have similar answers. I've already discussed students. Yes? Is there anyone whose list matches yours exactly? Probably not. But many of you may have similar answers. How many like reading the same kind of books? How many different languages are spoken by the students in your class? By now, you must have recognized the ways in which you are quite like some of your classmates and other ways in which you are different from them. Yes, it does not mean that each of us are extremely different from each other. We all are different from each other, but in some ways we are even alike. We have few characteristics which are very much similar to each other. Okay, now making friends. Do you think it would be easy for you to make friends with someone who is very different from you? Yes, again, students. Whenever you make friends, you try to make friends who are similar to you, who are like you, in a kind, not with all perspective, but a kind of similarity you have. Maybe you like the same chocolates to eat. Maybe you like same books to read. Maybe you like same movies, or say you like a same sports to be played. Okay. So here is a story. I'll read it for you students. I had meant it as a joke made up of small red boy who sold newspaper at Janpat crossing at busy intersection. Yes, there is a boy who's who sells newspaper at Janpat Crossing. Janpat Crossing is a very famous and interactive area. Every time I cycled past, he would run after me holding out English paper. So whenever our writer passes from there, he always runs behind him and passes the English paper and screaming out the evening's headlines in a mixture of Hindi and English words. This time, I stopped by the pavement and asked for the Hindi paper. His mouth fell open. So, what he used to do, that boy always used to run behind the um, our writer, our storyteller, our narrator. So, one day, our writer or our narrator decided to stop and ask for a Hindi paper. Okay. Now, you mean you know Hindi? He asked. So, what he asked, first of all, he was very surprised that why Hindi? Then he said, do you know Hindi? Then he and narrator replied, of course. I said, as I paid for the paper. Why? What did you think? So he says that why are you asking such question? What did you think? He paused. But you look so Grace. What he said? You look like a Greece, like you look like a British child. He said, you mean you can even read Hindi? Of course I can, I said this time little impatiently. So when again he asked that you mean you can read even Hindi? He says, of course I can. I can speak and read and write Hindi. Hindi is one of the subject I study in school. Subject, he asked. How could I explain what a subject was to someone who had never been to school? So now when he said that in our school we have a subject, so he surprisingly asked subject because he did not know the meaning of subject. So how are you going to explain someone what is meaning of subject who have never been to school? So I began, but the light changed and the honking behind me grew 100-fold, and I let myself be pushed along with the rest of the traffic. Now the signal has turned um, turned green, which means that now they can move. Okay, so all the honkings behind them uh, had forced that our narrator to move ahead. So now the next day he was there again, smiling at me, holding out a Hindi paper. भैया, he said, आपका अखबार अब बत अब बत, अब बताइए ये सब्जेक्ट क्या चीज है. So what he said that भैया ये आपका अखबार है पर आज मुझे ये बताए कि भाई ये सब्जेक्ट क्या चीज है. The English words sounded strange on his tongue. It sounded like it other meaning in English to be ruled by someone else. Yes. So what does happen? So the word English was a bit strange on his tongue. It sounded like its other meaning in English. Means it was like he had some other perspective, he had some other image regarding English to be ruled by someone else. Oh, it's just something to study, I said. And then, because the red light had come on, I asked him, have you ever been to school? Never, he answered, and he added proudly, I began working when I was so high. He measured himself against my cycle seat. First, my mother used to come with me, but I can do it all alone. Where is your mother now? I asked, but then the lights changed and I was off. I heard him yell from somewhere behind me. She is in Meerut with. The rest was drowned. So, now today, when the signal was red, they had a small conversation. So, he asked that whether you have ever went to school. So he says, no, I have been I have start earning for my family. And before this, my mother used to also join me, but now I can do it all alone. So my mother cannot, or my mother does not come. So here our narrator asked that where is your mother then he said that she is in Meerut. And as now lights have changed their color, then it was a time for our narrator to leave the place. So he left, but the rest of the words left over there only. Now, my name is Samir, he said the next day, and very shyly he asked, what's yours? It was incredible. My bicycle bubbled. My name is Samir too, I said. What? His eyes lit up. So, next day, what happened? Our newspaper boy says that my name is Samir, and our narrator was shocked because his name was also Samir. So they both were so lit up and they were so excited to see each other. Now, my name is Sameer too, I said. What is eyes lit up? Yes, I grinned at him. It's another name from for Hanuman's father. So now you are Sameer A, I'm Sameer Do. He said triumphantly, something like that, I answered, and then I held out my hand. Hath milao Sameer Do? His hand nestled in mine like a little bird. I could still feel its warmth as I cycled away. So, what happened, students? Now he says that my name is Samir too, and it is a another name for Hanuman's father. Hanuman's father, another name was Samir. So now the newspaper person is saying that now you are Samir A and I am Samir Do. Then our narrator is also a bit funnier and have a good sense of humor. So he says, "हाथ तो मिलाओ Samir Do." Okay, and our narrator says that when I shake hand with Samir Do, that is our newspaper guy, he was very the warmth of his hand, the warmth and the love of his hand was still in his hand while he was riding the bicycle. The next day, he did not have his usual smile for me. This is trouble in Meerut, he said. Many people are being killed there in riots. I looked at the headlines, communal riots, it blazed. But Samir, I began, I am a Muslim Samir, he said in answer, and all my people are in Meerut. His eyes filled with the tears. When I touched his shoulder, he would not look up. Okay, students. So what happened? So that newspaper person is Muslim and the riding bicycle, the one who is riding the bicycle belongs to Hindu community. Now next day when they meet, the newspaper guy, that is Samir Do, does not have that smile on his face. So he asked that why are you sad? So he replied that there is a lot of trouble. There is a communal riot. Communal riot means when people fight in the name of religion. I repeat, students, when people fight in the name of religion, then it is known as communal riot. So what happened that he his eyes were filled with water and he was saying that all my people live in Meerut and I'm Muslim Samir and I'm frightened that I'll lose my people. He was not at the crossing the day after, neither the day after nor ever again. And no newspaper in English or Hindi can tell me where my Samir Do has gone. Yes, students. Now, after that day, he never met Samir. And no newspaper, neither Hindi nor English, was letting him know that where Samir Do has went. Which means, students, that we all are made up of same blood. We are all are made up of by same God. Still, fighting in the name of religion is not good. God has not created us for fighting in the name of religion. No God wants us to fight. No God wants riots. No God wants that someone's child, someone's mother, someone's father get lost in this fight. Now, name three. Now, here. While Samir Ek is more familiar with English, Samir Do speaks Hindi. Although they both are more at home in different language, they still communicated with each other. They made the effort to do so because this is what was important to them. Look, Samir Ek and Samir Do both were from different families, different languages, but both of them made efforts to talk with each other, tried to make a relationship between each other and have a good friendship between each other. Samir Ek and Samir Do also come from different religious and cultural background. While Samir Ek is a Hindu and Samir Do is a Muslim, different religious and cultural backgrounds such as they are as an aspect of diversity. So then the best example is during Diwali, we visit our Hindu friends. During Eid, we visit our Muslim friends. During Christmas, we wish our Christian friends Merry Christmas and have cake on their and have some cake in their houses. Students, we might belong to different community, we might belong to different culture, we might belong to different languages, but we all are connected with hearts. We all are connected with emotions, sentiments which we share. And that is what most important thing is. Fighting in the name of religion, fighting for God can never make sense. And if religion means to just fight, then students always go with the religion of humanity. I guess there is no religion bigger than a humanity. Okay, we'll move ahead. In addition to the diverse religious and cultural background, there are other ways in which Samir Ek and Samir Do are different from each other. For example, while Samir Ek goes to school, Samir Do sells newspaper. Yes, students, Samir Ek always goes to school, whereas Samir Do always sells the newspaper. They have different group. They belong to different group of people, different sector of people. Yet they communicate with each other. Samir, though, did not have the opportunity to attend school. Perhaps you have noticed that there are several people in the area where you live who are poor, who don't have enough to eat, and where sometimes not even a place to live. This difference is not the same as the one we have seen earlier. Here we are talking not only of difference but of inequality. Inequality comes about when a person does not have the resources and opportunity that are available to other person. Look, students, you are blessed enough to study in big schools, to have best teachers, to have best parents who can guide you, who can correct you. Your parents give you everything of shelter to live, food to eat, good education, fun time vacation trips, in everything you want. Of course, they love you a lot, and that is why they give you everything what you have, whatever you want. But what do you think, students? Those children who are poor, who are roaming on roads, who don't have place to live, or sometimes say they don't even have food to eat, do their parents don't love them? Of course, their parents do love them, but students, they are not blessed enough, they are not lucky enough to have a life which you are living. It is because they don't have the resources, they don't get the opportunities as you got. The caste system is another example of inequality. Students, caste system is also another example of inequality. According to this, society was divided into different groups depending upon the work that people did. Yes, we have divided people as per their work, how they work. According to this, society was divided into different groups depending upon the work that people did, and they were supposed to remain in those groups. So, if your parents were potters, you could only become a potter, nothing else. This system was considered irreversible, and because you were not supposed to change your profession, it was not considered necessary for you to know anything more than what you needed in your profession. This created a situation of inequality. You will read in more about this and other inequality in the following chapters. Students, there is inequality in a sense that we were divided into different groups as per our working professions. And if a person is born in a family having who is who is a farmer or who is a potter, then he is only supposed to become a potter or farmer. He does not get the equal opportunity to become a good person. He does not get the equal opportunity to do the white collar job. And this was the reason of inequality. This was an example of inequality in our society. Students, everyone have right to education, but very few are blessed to have. You can look around yourself. There are many children who cannot go to school like you, who cannot live in the houses like you, who cannot study like you. You should grateful towards God for everything He had blessed you for. And students always remember that being inequality or being injustice with people who belong to a lower section of the society does not make you a good person. What makes you a good person and good human is being equivalent to each and everyone around you. Okay. I'll read it for you. What does diversity add to our lives? Just like Samir Ek and Samir Do became friends, you might have friends who are different from you. You have probably eaten different kinds of food in their homes, celebrated different festivals with them, tried out the clothes they wear, and learned some of the languages. Yes, students, we all have friends which belong to different communities. They have different languages, different festivals, different mm, um, culture, and we share each other's culture and we love to know about their culture. And this is what it says: unity in diversity. You probably like reading and hearing stories and adventures about different animals, people, and even ghosts. Perhaps you even enjoy making up stories yourself. Many young people feel happy when they read a good story because it gives them lots of ideas to make up more stories. People who write stories get their ideas from all sorts of different places, from books and real life, and from their imagination. Look, students, we all like to hear the stories. Sometimes we also like to make the stories. Okay, and where does the stories come from? The stories comes from our imagination. The stories come from people around us. The stories come from books around us. Okay. Some may have lived in forest, close to animals, and choose to write their fights and friendship. Others read real accounts of kings and queens and wrote stories about love and honor. Some dipped into their own childhood memories of the school and friends and wrote stories of adventure. Yes, students, some of each of us, each person who is a look, we all are made up of stories. And when we write or when we see something about, then it is something which we love or which we are surrounded of. Okay, if a person lives near the forest, then he'll be fond of talking about the animals and birds. If a person has always lived in king's ki- uh, king's palaces, then he would be very fond of discussing their affairs. If uh, if a person has a good childhood and memories of the school, then he might write the stories of the adventures with their friends. Imagine if all the storytellers and writers that you have heard and read so far were forced to live in a place where all people wore the same two colors, red and white, ate the same food, maybe potatoes, took care of the same two animals, for example, the deer and the cat, and to entertain themselves played snakes and ladders. What kind of stories do you think they would write? Yes, students. If all those different storytellers were kept at one place, caged at one place, and they were forced to eat same, to drink same, to live same, Do they were be able, sorry, were they be able to narrate as beautiful story as they are narrating? No, students, they can never, because they are not allowed to live as per their wishes, as per their choices. So here, diversity in India. India is a country of many diversities. We speak different languages, have various types of food, celebrate different festivals, practice different religions. But actually, if you think about it, we do many things that are similar, except that we do them in different ways. Yes, we do many things which are similar to each other, but in a different way. We have a different ways to celebrate them. We have different ideas to do. We have different cultures to perform. But more or less, we all are same. So that's it for the today. I'll continue this chapter tomorrow as well, and we'll study more about how diversity in India, and we'll study how do we explain diversity. Is that clear, students? I hope you have enjoyed a lot in this class and you have learned a lot, most importantly, and you'll practice in your lives. Yes, students? Okay. In these tough times, I would like to advise you that please be safe, stay at your homes, take care of yourselves as well as your families. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you so much.